Hi, we've just come back from seeing this movie, um, Love, Shuv, and Chicken Khurana. And the first thought that comes to mind is that, the marketing team of the movie needs to be complimented for the good job they've done in selling the movie. You read the reviews before you go, and you're convinced that it's going to be a hysterically funny movie, and you're dying sort of to see it, and you're seeing it first day kind of a release on a Friday evening. And unfortunately, the movie is such a letdown. um, the humor is there, the storyline is fine, but somehow something doesn't add up. And you sit through the first half of the movie, it's like, you're just wondering what you're doing here, and what exactly did the review say about the movie. And you sort of just, compel yourself to stay glued to your chair, enjoying the popcorn and the ambience of being in a multiplex. And of course, after the interval, the movie does pick up, and it does have its moments, where the typical Panju kind of, if you've grown up in a Panju household, you've heard phrases like Dalidar, and this gentleman is named Dalidra. So it's funny in that way, and the kind of Panju endearments that family usually uses, especially if your grandmom or someone like that you've lived with, you would have heard. So that's the nice part. And in the end, what comes across, and where you feel that the movie fails so miserably, is it could have done with some editing, and the hero actually lets down the movie. There, the transition, he's some cool dude in London who's sort of with these hot babes in some kind of a club or a pub house, kind of an environment, and he's some wheeling dealing kind of a guy. And then he comes to India, to Punjab, to save his skin. And suddenly there's a, he's like some dumb country bumpkin who's never been out anywhere, and the character doesn't just add up. And although, of course, that heroine does a good job, Harman, she comes across as a very plausible Punjabi girl in a small town who's become a doctor, who's the sincere, serious type, and she falls in love with this handsome young man. And very believable, very well acted, and the supporting cast is awesome. Like that Mama Ji is quite a character, and the way they make their confessions in the end, or where the, of course, the aunt is a stereotype again of a, one of these modern god women kind of things who's into drugs and some such thing. But it's a very nicely done kind of supporting roles by these various people. But at the end of the movie, you almost wish you hadn't gone to see it. I think it would just be sort of, if you haven't seen it, it's perfectly fine. You haven't missed anything much. And if you have nothing better to do, then please go ahead and see it. If you're a great movie buff and you have to see every movie that releases in town, otherwise, it's, just a kind of a very average time pass. Maybe I'm going contrary to the tide, but I'm sure that the movie is not going to make money. And it's kind of sad because it could have been better put together. So that's about it about Chicken Khurana, Love Shav, and Chicken Khurana. Thank you. Good night.